Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm coming at you with another book haul. Spoiler alert, you can see one of them there. Anyway, I've just been collecting books again from the thrift stores for a number of weeks, and I've collected a good chunk, and I thought I would share them with you now. First off, this one was gifted to me by a friend. She found it at the thrift store and she's passed it along to me. So it is Celebrate, A Year of Festivities for Families and Friends by Pippa Middleton, which I think is really neat. I'm kind of looking forward to going through this because it kind of gives you like entertaining tips as well as recipes. And yeah, I think it'll be a really nice book to go through, and it's quite a solid book. So there is that guy. Let's just get this one out of the way since you can already see it. Guys, I found the entire set of the Lord of the Rings, including the Hobbit, for $4 at the thrift store. That's $1 a piece in a box set. Now, obviously, because it's used, it's not in the best shape, but I'm okay with that. I don't need everything to be pristine. I've got the 4 books. They're all from the same series, so they have the same covers, so I'm good with that. So this was a really cool find for me. Right now, what I have of the Lord of the Rings that aren't collector editions are the movie cover editions, and I personally don't like movie cover books. I don't like them. So anyway, let's go like this. So next up is this. It is As Sure as the Dawn by Francine Rivers. This is the 3rd book in a trilogy. Francine Rivers is a Christian author, and this trilogy is fairly old. I actually have the first 2. The cover editions don't match. The first 2 I have are the newer edition covers, and this one is the older one. So the series doesn't match, which is probably not ideal, but if I end up finding the 3rd one in the future with the better cover, I'll probably swap it out. But until then, I have this one, and I have not actually finished this trilogy. And since I read the first, I think I read the first 2 years ago, like I kind of forget the whole thing. So I'm going to go back and read this trilogy again sometime soon, now that I have all of them. You guys remember the last book haul, I picked up a Gilbert Morris book. This is another one from the same series. So this is The Mermaid in the Basement. And yeah, now that I have 2 from this series, I'm really looking forward to getting into that. The next one is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I don't have any Charles Dickens. I've never read Charles Dickens. I really don't care for classics all that much, but I picked it up the same time I picked up this box set, and you had to have a minimum of a $5 purchase, and this was $4, and I wasn't willing to pass it up. So I found this guy for $1, and I figured I would give it a shot. It's pretty small, so I feel like it should be easy to get through. And yeah, let me know if you've read A Christmas Carol and if you like it. The next one is for my collection. This is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. So yes, I don't have this cover edition yet, and I really like it. So it is pretty cool. That's going in my collection. This one wasn't from the thrift store, but it was from the dollar store. And I think the books were all on sale for it might have been $1, it might have been less. But anyway, it's a watercolor book, and I like to play with watercolor, so I figured this was a pretty good purchase for me. That way I don't have to borrow it from the library and then forget I have it and pay late fees. So this bundle is a bit different. This is a whole schwack of Archie Comics. When I was a kid, I collected Archie Comics all the time. And there was a pretty good sale at the thrift store for these books, and there were a lot more, but I just figured I would just grab a handful and go with it. So these are ones that I don't have. I've never read them, and so I'm going to read them in between when I'm bored and maybe on road trips and stuff. So that adds to my Archie comic collection. The next one is The Cricket in Times Square. You will have probably seen in one of my vlogs that I picked up The Cricket in Times Square and The Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales. This one is by George Selden, and this one is by John Sizka and Lane Smith. Anyway, I picked these two up because I remember them from my childhood, and I kind of want to start collecting the books that I remember from my childhood, and these are two of them. So that was kind of fun. And then the last one for this stack is The Inn at Ocean's End by Colleen Coble. So I have not read anything by Colleen Coble, but I am willing to give it a shot because I believe she's a Christian author. So move those back, because I picked up this bag full of books for $3 at the thrift store. What a steal. I was so excited when I saw the sale when I walked into the store. I didn't even know that there was a sale until I got there. So I picked up a whole bunch and I'm gonna share them with you now. I'm gonna start with this one because it's a chunker. This is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book in the Stormlight Archive. I'm kind of sad it doesn't have the dust jacket on it. It was so cheap I could not pass it up. And I know a lot of booktubers are loving Brandon Sanderson books. And so when I saw this, I was like, yes, I'm going to give that a shot. Thank you. So that is a solid guy. The next big one is The Everyday Life Bible by Joyce Meyer. So the reason that I picked up this Bible, I do have a few other Bibles in I think two or three different versions. This one is in the Amplified version, and I don't have any Amplified version Bibles. And sometimes it's nice to be able to, like, when you're studying, to like switch through different versions to see, just to try and get the correct interpretation. So yeah, it was really cheap, and I thought it would be, since it's quite used and worn and stuff, it would be good for like underlining and taking notes and stuff. So I've got that one. So the first one I have is The Bondage Breaker by Neil T. Anderson. This is an older book, but it is well loved in the Christian community, and so I thought I would pick it up. By the same author, Neil T. Anderson, is Victory Over the Darkness, which is also well loved in the Christian community. And then the next one, this one I basically picked up just to fill the bag, but it is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns by Mindy Kaling. She, as far as I know, is not a Christian, so I don't know what the content is in here and if she uses language, but for the humor aspect of it, I thought I would give it a shot and see if she can make me laugh. The next one is This Present Darkness by Frank E. Peretti. This one is also an old book, but it is it was pretty famous in its day anyway. And Frank E. Peretti is a Christian author, and I think he writes like really like strange and weird kind of content. So let's see how that one goes, I guess. The next one is The Lost Queen by Signe Pike. This one I've heard come up recently on BookTube, and I'm hoping that it's a good one. I did flip through it and it's in first person, so I almost didn't pick it up, but because the whole bag sale thing, I thought I would, and then obviously listen to the audiobook. The reason that I am interested is because it's a fantasy, but the main character is in an arranged marriage to a Christian king. So that intrigues me. I don't know what direction this will take, so I'm hoping it's good, but I don't have super high expectations, so this one might be going back to the thrift store depending on the content. The next two I have are mass market paperbacks, and this is Shadow's Edge by Brent Weeks. This is the second book in the Night Angel trilogy. I'm having so much luck, you guys. Like, this is, do you remember my last book haul? I hauled the first book in this trilogy, and I happen to find the second one now. And so that's really neat. So now I have two in that series. The next one is Dune by Frank Herbert. This one also went around BookTube earlier this year with a lot of success. Lots of people were raving about it, and I didn't expect to find it, but I will give it a shot and see what the hype is all about. Now the last one, again, just because of the whole bag sale thing, is the Little Giant Encyclopedia of Card Games. So I thought this was kind of neat. It just teaches you different card games with like a standard deck of cards. And yeah, so my husband and I, since we're only two people, it's really hard to find games that work well for two people. So I was hoping to find some new games that we could play with cards that are good for two people. So I picked up that. So like, seriously guys, look at this stack. 2 stacks of books. And I don't know, I probably spent like $10 on the lot of them. Like, that's so cool. You guys definitely need to check out your thrift stores for books if you don't already, because look at this score. So yes, I hope to see you in the next video, and have a lovely day. Bye!